Welcome to episode 1 of season 4 of the realistic Road to Glory. Thank you for your continued fantastic support for this save. Really appreciate it. If you missed the season finale yesterday, that is worth the watch. It is right up there with some of the favourite episodes and seasons of mine and the viewing audiences on the channel in its history for the past 13 years. So do watch yesterday's episode if you missed it. Today, we start the transfer window at the beginning of Season 4. We have a small squad currently. A lot of players have left, be that loans expired, be that players that have left on a free. We currently have a squad of 15 players. We've had to call up a handful of youth players that we're not going to use just to fill out the squad so the game doesn't bug. But currently, players that we're actively wanting to use, we have 2 goalkeepers, 5 defenders, 4 midfielders, and 5 attackers. That is it. We have significant plans to spend in this window, but we have already spent, but not on the squad. You'll notice the bank balance. Actually, you won't notice the bank balance because my bloody face is in the way. So I shall tell you, we spent £9.429 million upgrading our stadium in the off-season. We've gone from a 10,000-seater stadium to a 19,000-seater stadium in-game. Effectively, the way that we're working the ground upgrades is we're going off the capacity rather than the look of the ground. It just so happens that the ground that we've upgraded to matched a growth in capacity and the look of the ground. So we're now at Court Lane in-game, which just so happens to look like a genuine upgrade on the ground that we were previously at. However, moving forward, we won't really care too much about the look of the ground. It's all about the capacity because that's how we're tying it into finances. And it may well offer up opportunities to play at grounds that you never see me use in career mode, based on how much money we have available, how many seats we're looking to add, etc. The way that we're running it is from 10,000 to 20,000. For every 1,000 seats, it costs me £1 million. From 20,000 to 30,000, it costs me £2 million per 1,000 seats. 30 to 40,000, 3 million, etc, etc, etc. That's how we move it up. That's how we scale it up, so that when we get to the point of wanting to upgrade to a giant squad for Champions League level, it's going to cost us tens, if not hundreds of millions of pounds to do so. And we would factor that in as a longer term, still stay at the same stadium for a season or two to go and get a full, completely new ground, as opposed to just upgrading the ground that we're currently in, which is in theory what we've done here. Now you will notice that Ben Osborne is currently my left back. We, in the starting lineup, are looking for a backup left back, a backup right back, a starting or backup centre back, a backup CDM, a starting centre mid, and a starting cam. I have targets already allocated on my shortlist. I'll show you what finances we're actually dealing with here. So we have a bank balance of 23.360 because we're still in the championship. 50% of that bank balance is allocated to the transfer budget. So we have a transfer budget of £11.7 million. We've carried across our same wage budget from last season because we ended up in the bottom half. These are our position toggles. Relegation, if we'd have been relegated, our wage budget would have been slashed by 15%. Because we're in the bottom half, it's not changed. Top half is 10%, playoff is 15%, and automatic promotion is 25% boost. So, I currently have, that's the wrong tab, £30,000 available in my current wage budget. We can stretch that wage budget by another £9,764, but we're going to try and keep a tight rein on the finances this season if we can, because we've just spent lots of money on the ground. That said, we've got money available in the transfer budget to reallocate to the wage budget if we want to, and we will be looking more at frees and loans again this year because, quite frankly, that's the financially astute thing to do at this particular stage of this particular save. But as we progress higher up the hierarchy, less and less options are going to become available on a free, and we're more and more likely going to be having to pay transfer fees. We are going to start, however, by paying a transfer fee. I am looking to bring in a player that's been on my shortlist for a number of years in-game at central midfield, that being Jensen Weir, who is still somehow at Port Vale in this 4th season. 72 rated, used to be at Brighton, has played at Cambridge before on loan from Brighton. Now we anticipate playing for Cambridge permanently as we look to spend about £3 million to bring him in. I'll show you my other targets when we get there, whilst I ask you to please drop the video a like if you're enjoying the save. Subscribe to the channel to make sure that you don't miss out on any more of it. I'd very much appreciate it, and it would be great to see you guys over on stream as well to have your say in the moment with regards every decision we make for this save. Of course, the YouTube comment section gets a strong, firm hand in that as well. Links in the description to the streaming platforms. I will offer just a straight £3 million, which is 10% above valuation or so. And they will say yes. £3 million to a club like Port Vale is a significant portion of pennies. He's only got a year left on his contract as well, Jensen Weir. So absolutely, he's going to come in and I can quite justifiably give him a crucial role. He only wants a 1-year deal, however. I would like at least 2. But because we don't know how good he's going to be, we're not going to extend more than a 2-year deal at the moment. We would like to potentially give him more than that longer term. But for this time being, we're going to offer him £7.5 grand. He would like a signing bonus of £15,500, but he's happy with a £7.5 grand wage. That is deal number 1. Signed, sealed, delivered. Jensen Weir is ours. Oh, Jensen Weir is here would have been a great way to end that highlight. Come on, Ches, sort your life out. Our next signing is someone that Cambridge have actually signed in real life on loan from Queen's Park Rangers, Taylor Richard. Just so happens that he is up to speed with the power curve of this save. They're not looking to loan him, however, but we have the finances available. He's not got much left on his contract. We will look to buy Taylor Richards for probably about £1.25 million if they'd be open to accepting a fee that low. 1.35 and a 5% sell-on clause suits me down to the ground. He's 70 rated, he's young, has the opportunity to grow, will start ahead of James Balagizi, and looks like a genuinely impressive player. If we can get him in for less than what he's currently on as well, then that would be absolutely great. I'll start rotation. He might want crucial. That was me just pushing my luck, really. He is going to be an important player for this side. He wants crucial. Well, quite frankly, he is going to start. I'm just trying to cover my back there, but he is going to start, so he can justify having the crucial. No release clause. And similar to Jensen Weir, Weir was on 9-ish at Port Vale, but Richards is out of favour at Queen's Park Rangers. So we will offer him about 7,000, similar to Jensen Weir actually, to keep it within the wage structure of the club. 7,000 he's willing to have, a signing bonus of £26,000, which is basically a month up front. We'll take it. The man that's joined Cambridge in real life joins Cambridge in virtual life too. Killer Roos is the next player to come through the door. He was available to loan at Aberdeen, but only has a year left on his contract, so the game won't let me loan him. So what I've done is bought him on a 1-year deal. 34-year-old goalkeeper, 70 rated, comes in for £240,000 on a 1-year contract. That makes perfect sense, basically. So I'm very, very happy with that. Killer Roos won't be our number 1. We will address squad numbers before we get to the first game of the league season. But Roos is in, and signing number 3 walks through the doors. As we advance forward for the first time, I only have Bourne on the loan list. That is the only deal we currently have potentially to go out. That's the only deal we're currently planning on going out. And at £1,500 a week, I don't really feel like I have the need or want to negotiate that too much. 2-year deal to Barnsley, apparently, even though I asked for to negotiate a 1 year, but he can go for 2 years if he wants. That just allows us the opportunity to act on something else. No, they have actually negotiated a 1-year deal. All right, lovely. All right, Bourne's off to Barnsley, but we will pay all of his wages whilst he's out there. If we can earn some money from the pre-season tournament, that would be lovely. I don't really see us winning that one. This one, however, potentially we could. I feel like that, even though it's a smaller prize pool, we probably stand a better chance of winning that tournament and earning some extra money. We got a decent amount of money from the no, I'll reject that one because it's more realistic that he would go to Barnsley. We have the opportunity to hopefully not be involved in a relegation battle this year. The starting 11 already looks stronger than it did last season, with a 72 rated player there now balanced with a slightly higher rated left wing back in Ben Osborne. Mackenzie is currently starting at centre-back, but I am looking for a centre-back. In fact, I know who I want at centre-back to replace Mackenzie in the starting lineup, who's going to be a great backup and versatile replacement on the bench, considering he could play at centre-back and at left-back. And to be fair, probably not bad at CDM either. Can't play at centre-mid, though, but how's that for a utilitarian player? Ben Osborne is also a utilitarian player, and to be fair, the man that I'm looking to bring in is also perhaps able to be described as a utilitarian player. He's just left Arauca in the Portuguese league. Yeah, you've no idea who I'm about to show you now, do you? It is Jose Fontan. He's only 6 foot, but he's got 85 jumping. He is going to cost a decent whack wage-wise, though. I currently have 12,269 in my wage budget, but my wage budget with stretch is 22, and we do still have 7 million remaining in my transfer budget should I want to move some money across. So to come in as our joint highest-rated centre-back and joint highest-rated player all told, Jose Fontan will join us on a crucial role, and we will pay him a sizable wage, I think. We'll look to give him similar to something that Kellen Watts is on. He would agree 7.5. I don't think a player of that quality would accept 7.5 really. So I will edit that, and we will offer him what Kellen Watts is on, which is £11,000. We'll take out the signing bonus, and that significant boost in overall wages should be enough to see him sign, which indeed it is. He and Kellen Watts are both the same rating, both in the starting lineup, and both earning the same amount of money as well. That is the highest rated signing we've made in the save so far. I still have players that I would like to bring in, but at the moment, they are of a level whose wages I cannot afford. I can transfer budget into wage budget, and that is something I might look to do in a little while, but let's advance a few days through and see if we might earn some extra money from that pre-season tournament. You join me on match day 1. However, I need your feedback, please. The squad is thin on the ground at the moment. We literally have a starting 11 and a bench, and we're looking for improvements, really backup players in on loan or freeze to be able to come in and bulk out the squad. Now, I have limited finances available to me at the moment. 7 million in a transfer budget, which is great, but wage budget wise, I can only stretch myself at the moment to another 11,000-ish. Now, as it stands, I have 2 or 3 players I would like to bring in. I would like to sign on a free Mohamed Draga, a Tunisian right back that can play at right mid as well, could probably do a job at centre mid too. He might be similar to Ben Osborne really, just slightly not quite as good, but come in as a backup player for a year to find out basically where we're going to be next season. Maybe 2 years to be fair, because he might get a little bit of growth this season. He would require about 8 grand. I could probably get him for slightly less than that, so I could afford to bring him in now. Then in the midfield, I'm looking to in fact, at centre-back, I was going to look to loan in Ben Nelson from Toulouse as well. So I could probably, with my current stretched budget, afford to loan Nelson and sign Draga, and then I'm out of cash. The question is, who do I sign as a backup CDM? Patinama is not going to come in as it stands right now, though. But do I look to loan Maximilian Ayadele from Manchester United? He's on 26.5 grand. I'd probably have to pay upwards of half of that. Or do I sign Isaac Hayden on a 1 or 2 year deal as a backup squad player who is better and can play in centre-back as well? He can play CDM, he can play centre-mid, and he can play centre-back. He's got block, slide tackle, and aerial as play styles, and there is no play styles in Maximilian Ayadele. So Ayadele is the younger but lower rated, and it would only be a loan to be fair, or Isaac Hayden, who would be the older, higher rated, more experienced but less impactful, probably off the bench player in terms of changing a game in the positive, but it was probably the more realistic one to sign Isaac Hayden on a free than it is Oyedele on loan. But I will leave that one up to you guys. I'm going to try and sign Nelson on loan. I'm going to try and get Drager in now, and then we will go and play Hull on the first day of the brand new season, and hopefully we'll be able to get a positive result. And then I'll let you know how much money I've got left, or how much money I could get if I transfer certain from my transfer budget to my wager budget, but I'll show you that when I get there. We'll try and be frugal here and save a bit of money if I can. So Drager is in. Ben Nelson is currently negotiating a 40% from me, 60% from Toulouse, but I've added him to the list just so I can give you the idea of where our finances are right now. So at present, I'm £8,000 over budget, but my remaining budget with stretch is only 1,500 left. However, if I take 1 million of my current 7 million budget, I can free up another £11,000 in my wage budget and £22,000 with stretch. So I can, with that 22 grand, probably with the 11 potentially, afford either of the two midfielders. But do I go for Isaac Hayden, or do I go for the young lad from Manchester United, Maximilian Oyedele? I, at present, don't know which one to go for, so you guys can decide for me. Isaac Hayden or Oyedele. You guys in the YouTube comment section will decide that transfer. It is entirely your decision. Thumbs up comments that you agree with, and we shall take it from there. One thing I'm going to move forward on to doing now, though, is playing our first game of the season. So Jensen Weir will make his debut. Jose Fontan will make his debut. And potentially off the bench, Drager will make his debut too. Rose will not make a debut at this stage, but certainly in the cup round the corner he will do. Forrest and Dodds are currently our go-to wingers, as we expect them to grow quite well this season. The 11 isn't a massive evolution from last year. It's more evolution than revolution, but certainly we are a better side than we were at this point last season, and I anticipate us having a stronger season. Connolly up top for them is going to be very good. Jaden Philogene, of course, on the left is going to be very good. Doherty in midfield. Ashby still at centre-back alongside Jones. Coyle and Furlong their wingers, and Pandur in between the sticks for Hull City. Can we start this season with a win? We ended last season with a win against Hull City. That win against Hull City kept us in the division. Can we start this season with a result against Hull City to hopefully start us off in the same division with a better result, or with a better result than we got last year. Last year we drew with Millwall 1-1, I believe, on opening day. I haven't yet done squad numbers. I apologise, I quite literally just forgot, with my attentions focused on the transfer, or potential transfer of that CDM. Jose Fontan gets a good block in. His first action as a Cambridge United player. I'll adjust the squad numbers after this game and before the next episode for Monday. Jensen Weir gets up well, and his first action defensively is done very well indeed, and we'll just get rid of it. Flick that on with Richards. We'll take the free kick, and we'll hopefully be able to build from here. Into Ozan Tufan again. Good tackle by Jensen Weir. He's done really well there. Jensen Weir has excellent long shots that we might look to utilise this season. 80 is his long shot stat. Well in, Kellen Watts. I mistakenly said earlier on that Kellen Watts was on the same wage as the man that we just brought in alongside him, Jose, and that they were similarly rated, or the same rating. They are actually not the same rating, nor are they on the same wage. I thought that Kellen Watts was 72 and on 11,000. He's 71 and on 11.5. But regardless, they are similar enough at the moment. Unfortunately, the scoreline is too similar for my liking at this particular moment in time, because it's still 0-0. Aaron Connolly out to Furlong. Sorensen in well, and looking to get away from Furlong. Dodds with me. Dodds with me still. A little dink, and Dodds can power forward onto it, and he's done brilliantly to do so. It might go for goal here. He has done. He's missed the target. Dylan Dodds scored a vitally important equalising 92nd minute goal against Southampton at the end of last season. But he can't get the first goal of the season here. It's on the run there. And in the box here is Richards, and Taylor Richards trying to tuck this back. Needs a man on the edge of the box. That man is Forrest. And here's Jensen Weir. Get it back to Lasse Sørensen, who will float it, and Yengi could get on the end of it. He can't. Alfie Jones hooks away. Kirk Henderson brings it down. It's Ben Osborne now, looking for the ball into the middle. It doesn't quite transpire that way, but Osborne can drive down the line himself here, and maybe whip a better ball in this time around. He does! Yengi! Brilliant volley. Excellent save by Pandor. Dodds will take the corner himself. We've got some tall players in there now. Jose Fontan's got great jumping! A goal on debut! Jose Fontan! Only 6 foot tall, but 85 jumping, and he's proved it right there. A goal from a set piece. Cambridge 1, Hull City 0, just as it was on the final day last season, and Jose Fontan gets a goal on debut. Vamos! Great challenge by Kirk Henderson, expecting some good growth from him this year. We had previously blocked offers for him. We have taken off that block. We did it so that we didn't lose a young player with decent potential within 6 months of him signing for the first team, which would have been unrealistic. He is now available for other sides to transfer if they would like to. We obviously hope that nobody would like to, but we'll wait and see how things go in the remainder of the transfer window. Is a very busy opening month in August as ever in terms of the volume of fixtures that we have to play. Furlong will deliver this, and it's deep, and it's past everybody. Coyle back to Lakilo, lovely turn, and into Ozan Tufan, and Stevens makes the save. What I think I might do is play Stevens in played games and sim with Keller Rose in goal, so that we have the higher rated player in goal for simulated games. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. That way both players get enough first team football to keep themselves satisfied, and hopefully Stevens still gets the opportunity to grow with some good performances. Another good save for him here. Philogene will take the corner. Still 1-0 Cambridge at heart as we approach half time, and in almost comical fashion, still 1-0 Cambridge. Yengi is... Oh, it's Richards again. Yengi is making the move up forward here. Great first touch. Kusini Yengi's in. Oh, looking for the Ollie Watkins-esque finish there, but not quite able to get it across the keeper into the bottom corner. And he's picked out Forrest only. Lovely. Yengi's there. That is a terrible pass. Thankfully, we've kept possession. Henderson, forward to Forrest. Lots of players forward with me here. Yengi. And Richards. Richards maybe with an assist on debut. It would have been a great ball out wide. Jensen Weir maybe with an assist on debut, or involved in the goal at the very least. Tuck this back. Kusini Yengi has to hit the target, quite frankly, and doesn't. Into Ozan Tufan through the gap. Here's Philogene. We know he's going to be tricky. He's just got to not get fooled by it. Furlong. It's a good whip. And Barry arrives from nowhere to head over the top of the bar. A chance for Hull to find an equaliser that they can't take. We made a couple of other changes just to keep things fresh. And those fresh things include Reyes Cleary and Marcus Brown, who's eventually got the ball under control there, and will look for Reyes Cleary. And Reyes Cleary will show good strength here, and a good turn, and a pass, and Marcus Brown's left-footed shot is not really worth noting. Oh, supposed to go first time out to Ben Osborne, but never mind. Still we come forward here. Brophy looking for Cleary. Reyes Cleary can't hit the target. We're giving him a third chance at the club, Reyes Cleary. We brought him in. He didn't perform. He went out on loan. We brought him back. He didn't perform. He went out on loan. He grew both times. He now has to have an impact on the first team. Otherwise, he will go down as a failed experiment and will be sold on in January and replaced. Reyes Cleary. Thankfully, we didn't need either striker today because the new centre-back did the business from the set piece. 3 points to begin the season against Hull City with a 1-0 win, as we had 3 points to end the previous season.
For a second about the match?
Against, oh, that was the wrong one to do. Against Hull City with a win. So we're very, very happy indeed. Every player did their job. And 3 points on the board to start the season suits me down to the ground. We start the next episode with a game against Peterborough United. We've got Preston in the cup, Luton and Blackpool as well. We'll play Peterborough, we'll play Norwich, we'll sim Preston, probably play Luton and sim Bristol City and Blackpool, I imagine, to get us to transfer deadline day. Unless there's a lot of action, in which case we'll split that into 2 episodes. But I don't anticipate us doing that at this moment in time. So that will bring us to a close for today's episode. And you guys have the opportunity to let me know what you think I should do with that CDM/rotation CDM centre-back roll. Isaac Hayden can come in and hopefully do a job. Oyedele could come in and hopefully do a job. The decision is yours as to which one we go for. We may yet see transfer bids for other players in our squad before the end of this window, and there might be some curveballs coming. I'll go and sort the squad numbers out off screen, but for now, for this episode, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you think we've made some good signings there. I think we have. It's a step in the right direction, whilst obviously not just signing loads of 75 plus rated players and immediately challenging for promotion like we could do, but we won't because we're going the realistic route. I'll see you tomorrow. No, I won't. Today's Friday. I'll see you on Monday.